Hello, friends. Welcome to yet another prescriptive analytics session or data optimization session. We will talk about yet another business problem in solving the network models. Say there is a customer, there is a client rather, who is specialized in steel rods manufacturing. And they have, say, 3 manufacturing plants. And they also have 4 different products. One is 8 mm TMT rod, another is 10 mm TMT rod, third one is 12 mm TMT rod, and the fourth one is 14 mm TMT rod. And the price per unit is also provided. What does that mean? If plant 1 produces 8 mm TMT rod to manufacture, it's going to cost $41 per rod. A 10 mm TMT rod is going to cost $27 in plant 1 if it is manufactured. Whereas in plant 2, 8 mm TMT rod is going to cost you $40. 10 mm TMT rod is going to cost you $29. And say plant 2 does not have a machine required to manufacture 12 mm TMT rod. So you should prohibit plant 2 from selecting any units to be manufactured pertaining to 12 mm TMT rod. So you have to put here a very high price, a very high cost rather, not price, sorry. A very high cost so that plant 2 is not selected when manufacturing 12 mm TMT rods. So here, the decision variable is to decide how many units of each of these rods should be manufactured in the various plants. So which product would you assign to which plant to be manufactured? If you look at the required production, the requirement, it's what, 20 plus 30 plus 30 plus 40, which is overall 120 units of all these 4 products have to be manufactured. Let's look at the plant capacity. How much can a plant manufacture? Okay, plant 1 can manufacture 75, wonderful. Plant 2 can manufacture 75. Plant 3 can manufacture 45. Now let's first discuss about, this is very important, right? Now first let's discuss about a scenario where each plant can manufacture multiple products, barring plant 2, which cannot, manufacture 12 mm TMT rods. Every other product can be manufactured in every other plant. Let's assume, okay. Here, since you have 20, 30, 30, 40, which is 120 is a requirement, but the capacity is 75 plus 75, 150 plus 45 is 195. It's an imbalance scenario that we are dealing with here, correct? So to handle this imbalance scenario, we need to add a dummy, which we already discussed. So let's do that. So here we have a dummy. We are adding that dummy. Okay, let me first replace all of these with zeros. Yeah, so that the solution is not provided. Okay. So here we have the cost. We are just adding dummy to balance out. Okay, to balance, to make it balance. Total supply should be equal to the total demand. We are just trying to balance out. And for this particular dummy, we are adding 75. Why are we doing that? Let me tell you quickly that. The capacity available is 195. But the total that you are going to produce these 4 products is going to be 120 if you add only until here. 195 minus 120 is 75. So you are putting them under a category called as dummy, just to make it a balanced problem. Once you make it a balanced problem, you can solve it using linear programming. That's one of the requirements, right? So hence we are balanced out. And here we are putting a very high number in comparison to the other numbers because plant 2 does not have a machine to manufacture 12 mm rods. That's a constraint. Hence you're putting a big number so that while your optimization algorithm runs, it does not select this plant 2 for 12 mm. Right? Okay. So what is the objective? The objective is to minimize the total cost. So here, if you observe, we will deal with the scenario where I'm going to look at the sum product of all these items and multiply it with number of units that you're going to produce. Yeah. Total cost is also going to be the same. I mean, the value here also it's going to be the same, just that we will not have the dollar sign. That's it. So total supply is 195. Total demand is 120. The difference is 75. Hence, we added one dummy. Dummy always has $0. There's no cost, right? It's dummy. There's nothing. It's just a slack variable. And the number of units that you can produce of 8 mm has to be 20. This has to be 30. 12 mm has to be 30. 14 mm has to be 40. And this is 75. Dummy. Capacity is 75. So number of units that you're going to produce in plant 1 should be less than or equal to 75. Plant 2 has a maximum capacity of 75. So the number of units that you're going to produce should be less than or equal to 75. Plant 3 has a capacity of 45. So the number of units that you're going to produce should be less than or equal to 45. Given this, you can just run your algorithm. I go to data in the menu. I'll just disable my camera so that solver options that I'm going to play around with is obvious and is clear for you all, right? So that's the main objective. Okay. So the objective function here happens to be this cost. Okay. What do you want to do with that total cost? You want to minimize that. The total cost of production has to reduce, and you'll have to allocate how many units of 8 mm has to be assigned to plant 1, so on and so forth. Remember, here we are allowing the product split, meaning one plant can produce multiple products. We are just allowing that. And what do you want to change? You want to change all these values. Okay. Number of units that you need to produce. All right. But we also need to add constraints. Constraint 1 is we want to ensure that all of these units that are produced is equivalent to the requirement. What is the requirement? This is the requirement. Let's add another constraint now. The number of units that you're going to produce from each of the plant should be less than or equal to the capacity available. Select that also. Job done. Okay. So we have the constraints, everything. Unconstrained variables, we are forcing them to be non-negative, and we are selecting simplex linear problem. Of course, there are other business problems also, but we are going ahead with simplex first. Now, when you solve it, you get to see that you need to produce 30 units of 10 mm from plant 1 and 30 units of 12 mm from plant 1. So split is allowed. 15 are dummy. The dummy, yeah, you need not even bother about that. The reason why I'm saying don't even bother about dummy is because, I mean, let me show you what happens. Look at what is here, 15, 60, and 0, right? Just bear those in mind. Okay, I'll also explain here that entire 20 units of 8 mm would come from plant 3. entire 30 units which are required, 10 mm rods which are required, would come from plant 1. Entire 12 mm which is required would come from plant 1 once again. But 14 mm would come both from plant 2 and plant 3. And that is how, things are given. However, I just wanted to quickly show you that if I were to ignore, ignore the dummy variable, what happens, right? So let's see. So here, the changing values, right? I'm going to select only these values. I'm excluding dummy completely, okay? And even in the constraints, I'm going to select constraints only until here. And these also would be selected only until here. Let me add another. Yeah, this other one I think should be fine. Yeah, this other thing would remain as is anyways. Now, if I click on solve, right? Let me see whether the values are properly selected or not. Yes, objective function. Let me minimize that by changing the values here. Let me delete the constraints and re-add the constraints once again. These values should be equivalent to these numbers. Add. These numbers should be less than or equal to these values. Okay. But then I think there is some issue with the formula. Okay. Yep. So here, if you look at the formula, it's adding everything. So dummy, I need to remove. So what I'll do is I'll take summation of only these. Summation of this value until this value. What's going on? Okay, let me do this. Only these values. And then I'll drag it like that. Now see what happened, friends. When we solve this particular problem, and even the total cost, right? I'll include only these. Sum product of these, comma, these. Yeah. So certain formulae, I just ignored all the, dummy variable entries. And now when I solve it, solution will remain the same. Having said that, the one change that you'll observe is here. Here, the capacity is total 75, but how many have you produced? Only 60. So another 50 is part of your slack variable. This dummy is nothing but your slack variable, which will capture the leftover part. Plant 2 has a capacity of 75, but you have only used up 15. What about another 60? That will be part of dummy. Plant 3 has a capacity of 45. You consumed completely. So there's nothing in dummy. That's it, friends. That's the only reason why you're going to have this dummy variable. It's just to make your solution look good, just to ensure that there is some balance out there.